the rest of the research paper. I shared the book. Here is it. Okay, so previous time, guys, we took from the PowerPoint presentations the academic vocabulary before we start. And next time we took how to select a topic and narrow the choices. Okay. Today I want to show you this is a template or an example of the writing research paper. Okay, and as you know, the research paper is a kind of expository writing. It's to show expository writing is to show the reader, to show him. So you are biased. You do not take a side. You do not take a side. Okay. For example, here, how I start by a description or a background. I give a background, and at the end of this is the introduction. Okay. At the end of the introduction, or in the middle, I say the claim, and then, okay, here we have two ways to cite, two ways for citation, two ways. I will say the two ways now, but this one is in text. When I cite in the text, so here what? When he says listen to hundreds of witnesses, held public hearing, and finally pushed through the legislation needed to recognize the New York City Labor and Fire Department and to ensure safer factories for the working class. This said by Stein, 209. Stein is name, the 209 page number. This is a very short form of citation in the text. Then, okay, I say here the body. I start for the body. I have one else to show you the introduction, the body, and the conclusion, but I just wanted to show you the citation inside the text. Okay, so all of that is an example of a research paper, and you have to notice it is not only one page like essays. There's not only 3 bodies like essays, it's more than, look at how many pages, it's 4 pages. Here is it. And this, at the end, is MLA format. Here is it. This work cited uses MLA, Modern Language Association. MLA is Modern Language Association format or style. To cite sources. Here, how to cite sources after you finish. So we have 2 ways, as I showed you now. When I mentioned it inside the text, or I mention it after I finish. After I finish the research, I finish the whole research, works cited. Why? To avoid plagiarism, because plagiarism is the stealing and exposes you to fail the year. So here, how do I cite newspaper article? This is how to form a newspaper article. This is a book by one another here. The books, Printed Laws of the State of New York, Laws, scholarly work compiled by editor, other researchers. Here, the 141 men and girls die in waste factory fire. This is the title. New York Times, the title of the magazine, the date or when was it published, 26 March 1911, and the organization, the newspaper. Okay, here, title, author, Foner, Philip S. Women and the American Labor Movement in New York, the Free Press, 1979. So you have to mention author, title of the work, date of publishing. Okay, this is the MLA. After I finish the whole research, you format. Okay, so previous time we discussed how to choose and limit a topic. Okay, first of all, we choose a topic and then you start to narrow it, as we said. If I talk about feminism, I'll specify my topic and I talk about establishment of feminism in the Middle East. If I will talk about here, he talks about the Union. Civil War. He talks about the Civil War. Civil War, of course, we took it in the literature. Civil War, the Union and the Confederacy. The Union and Confederacy and famous battles of these three battles between the two. Civil War. So from the Civil War, we have the Confederacy, the Union, famous battles. We can only talk one battle. We can talk about all of the Civil War, but we have to cover all of these points. That the Civil War was between the Union and the Confederacy, the pro-slavery movement, Agriculture South, Robert E. Lee, and the Union abolitionists. This was opposing slavery, anti-slavery movement, Industrial North, President Lincoln. So this was the side of the Union and this was the side of the Confederacy. And the famous battles between both, so we have to cover all these points. It is a writing model how to list the points and assign exactly what I will talk about. Number two, make a schedule. Means let's someone read Lee Matter. Make a schedule. Lee Matter. Budget. Okay. Lين الحاج.
Miss, can I read?
Yes, read. Okay, after who wants to read, Selena or Dima? Dima said, I want to read.
Me and Lean. Me and Lean.
Okay, Serena start and then Lena. Make a budget, a schedule.
Make a schedule. Make a schedule. Budget your time to keep your focus and pace yourself through each of the following steps in writing a research paper. Choosing a limit and limiting a topic, finding and evaluating sources, taking notes, drafting a claim and titles, developing an outline, writing in first draft, documenting sources, revising, proofreading, and preparing the final manuscript.
So we have to go through all these steps in order to get a perfect research paper. Number one, we discussed it, how to choose and limit a topic. Number two, we also discussed it how to evaluate the source, how to choose a source and evaluate it up to credibility for the author and validity. It is newly published. Okay. Number three, taking notes. Taking notes. Okay. Let me see if he wrote it here. Okay. Number three, taking notes while you search, girls. While you are searching for information to include in your topic, you take notes. This I want to talk about. This I want to talk about. This I want to include in my research. You take notes in order not to forget. So when you take the notes, when you start writing, you cover all these notes. And then drafting a claim and title, you have to finalize your claim. Okay, you choose the perfect claim, you organize it. You choose its words well because the claim presents your whole research and your title. Don't forget your title. Then developing an outline. What is an outline? The introduction, the body, the conclusion, which we will discuss later. Writing in a first draft. I'll start writing a first draft and then I document the sources after I finish and then I revise it all. He says to you that when you start writing quickly without revising, and then after you finish it all, revise. Proofreading, editing, and then preparing the final manuscript. Okay, so number three. Thank you, Serena. Lina Al-Haj.
Look for several sources. Make sure you include both primary and secondary sources. A primary source is an original text or document such as a literary work, a diary, a letter, a speech, an interview, or a historical document. A secondary source presents the writer's comments on a primary source. Reference books, biographies, literary criticism, and history and science textbooks are secondary sources.
So he says, do you look for several sources? A primary source is an original text, such as a literary work, the original text that has been written by the original author, or a diary by someone. So this is a primary source because he is the one who has written it. A letter, a speech, an interview, a historical documents. Primary source is something was there when the event happens, or the author who was there, or the person who attended these events is the one who is writing them. A secondary source is when someone tells a story that happened to him to another one. So the other one comes and tells us the story. He is a secondary source. When he writes, when someone writes a biography, it means the story of a person's life, of another person's life. So this is a secondary source. So I tell something that I didn't witness myself. I didn't witness it myself. It was told to me. So I am a secondary source. When I come to tell you something, but I didn't witness it, it is a secondary source. Okay? Okay. Tia? Thank you, Lee.
Yes,
Tia?
Miss.
Yes, read from you can use.
You can use a computer to gather relevant information from primary and secondary sources. For example, entering the term triangle shirtwaist company fire into an internet search engine can help you find both print and digital sources of information on the topic. Using an online database is another way to locate reliable sources such as relevant magazine and newspaper articles and excerpts from encyclopedias and other reference materials. Technology such as the internet not only allows you to access information easily, but it can also help you update your research findings based on feedback or new information. In addition, you can use the internet to share your research with others and to produce and publish your report.
Yes, so this we discussed before. From where can you gather your primary or secondary sources? From books, from the libraries, from the internet. Okay, we discussed the previous one. Thank you, Tia. What? What?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, وعد read بقى. Review and evaluate sources.
Before you rely on source, check its timelines, accuracy, and relevance. Completeness.
Yes, raise your voice يا وعد.
Okay. Look for up-to-date information. For example, an artifact in last month's Ethic magazine. It's a better source for information about juvenile crime than a 10-year-old book. Elevate your sources for efficiency. Don't believe anything you read. For example, an internet source for a government or university database is more relatable and based than an individual's homepage. You can trust major newspaper, the San Francisco
Chronicle or the New York Times more than a tabloid. Continue.
Look for information directly
Relevance.
related to your limited topic. Stay focused. Make sure the information you gather is apportionate for your purpose and audience.
Yes. So when I gather the information of my sources, we discussed this before. We took at the timelines that it is a new one. Okay. Number one, two, accuracy, relevance. So as we said before, the credibility, the reliable source, and validity source. So we explained it before. There's no need to repeat seeing it. Okay. So wait a minute, please. Okay. So relevance, it means that it is information related to the topic I will talk about. Accuracy, it means that it is accurate information. Don't believe anything you read. This is a very good advice. Don't believe everything you read. So an internet source from a government or a university database is more reliable and unbiased, because you have to be aware also of being biased. In some organization or political organization, they publish books, they publish their opinions from their points of view. Okay, then we go to number 5. Thank you, Wad. Mariam Shagabdali. Mariam? مريم غلا مريم غلا
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
غلا read غلا 5.
Track sources and cross-reference notes. Record essential publishing information for each source, either in an electronic document or on a source card. Each card or entry should include all the bibliology what?
bibliographical
Information you'll need
information.
for your work. Cited list. This includes author, title, publisher, date, and place of publication, as well as any other pertinent information. Assign each source card or entry a entry a number. Then you take notes. Just indicate the source number on your notes, and you won't need to rewrite all the source data. Should I
Okay,
complete?
so this is a sample. Yes, this is sample source the card. He says to you in order to record the essential publishing information for each source, as we say, you have to cite what you from where did you bring your information. You make a source card like this one, like we discussed. Okay, this is the MLA format, as we say. Okay, then take notes, and take notes is important. Thank you, Hala. Harir. حرير 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 ملك الحاج رغد
Miss, can I read?
Teacher, you
Who's
call
here?
me?
I called Harir Ragad. Ragad,
Yes.
you're here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Read يا رغد.
But you didn't
Yes.
call me. Did you call me?
No, not yet يا هدى. Read يا رغد.
Number 6.
Yes.
Okay. Take notes. You may quote a source directly using what?
Quotation marks.
Using marks. Or use your own words. Be sure to include the page number of each note you take on your note card or entry. When you summarize, you state only the most important ideas in your own words. When you paraphrase, you spell out every idea in the same order as in the original, using your own words. Read
Thank
the
you, Ragad. Now take notes. You may quote a source. When you will take a quote said by someone, you quote a source directly using quotation marks. You have to put the quotation marks, okay? Or use your own words. Be sure to include the page number of each note you take on your report. Okay. When you summarize, you state only the most important ideas. When you paraphrase, you say everything but in your own words. This is the difference between summarizing and paraphrasing. Paraphrasing to say everything in your own words, summarizing to say it all. Okay, sample note card again, fire. This is the title, the author, for example, if it's the title of the article, the author, and title of the magazine or the site, the book. Okay, worst fire in history of New York City, page 8, and the number of the page.
Miss, can I
Take
read?
sources, track sources. Yes,
I was asking if I
Layal,
Miss
who
Nada,
wants to read?
I
Maya.
want to tell you
Yes,
that Malak didn't answer you لأن electricity طفت عندهم.
okay, okay. Okay, Maya, read Maya.
Okay. Track sources and cross-reference notes. Record essential publishing information for each source, either in an electronic document or on a source card. Each card or entry should include all the
Bibliographical.
bibliographical information you will need for your work's cited list. This includes author, title, publisher, date, and place of publication, as well as any other pertinent information.
Assign each source card or entry a number. Then when you take notes, just indicate the source number on your notes and you won't need to rewrite all the source data.
Yes. Okay. So again, he focuses on how to take notes and track the source and the cross-reference notes. Why? To be sure to avoid plagiarism, girls. Again. So when you record the essential publishing information for each source, either if it's electronic or a document or a source card, each card or entry should include all the bibliographical information. Bibliographical information, as we said, the author, you need for your works cited list, the author, the title, the publisher, the date, and place of publication as well as. So this is very important to mention the 5 of these points: author, title, publisher, date, and place of publication. Thank you, Maya. Then 6 again. So here we said 5 track sources, 6 take notes. Layal.
Yes, miss.
Layal. Read Layal.
Take notes. You may quote a source directly, use quotation marks, or use your own words. Be sure to include the page number of each note you take on your note card or entry. When you summarize, you state only the most important ideas in your own words. When you paraphrase, you spell out every idea in the same order as in the original using your own words.
Yes, thank you, Layal. Then map ideas in outline form. Map the ideas in outline form. Leah? Leah? Maya read. Nancy?
Yes, miss.
Ahmed? Nancy?
Yes.
Yes, miss, you called
Read
me.
Nancy 7 and then Ahmed.
Okay.
Yes, read.
Map ideas in outline form. Sort your notes according to main ideas. Based on the information, create an original pattern that shows at least 3 main ideas.
Organization. Yes.
Huh?
Yes, yes.
In order with at least 2 supporting points for each one.
For the map, for the outline form, sort your notes. So sort it after you gathered your notes, sort it according to the main ideas. So here, this is about the union. This is about federal. This is about the battles. Continue, Nancy, draft a claim.
Draft a claim. Your claim or statement of your controlling idea comes at the end of the introduction. It tells your readers the main point you're going to make in the rest of the paper. Should I read the draft and the
Yes.
revised? Draft. After the Triangle Shirtwaist Company fire, a commission was appointed. Revised. After the Triangle Shirtwaist Company fire, a commission investigated factory conditions and proposed laws to ensure workers' safety.
Yes. So here the claim, and the claim is at the end of your introduction, and you have to make it clear and precise. So a draft after the Triangle Shirtwaist Company fire, a commission was appointed. Look at when he revised it. After the Triangle Shirtwaist Company live, a commission investigated factory conditions and proposed laws to ensure worker safety. Thank you. I said who will read after Nancy?
Me.
Yes, read Ahad.
Miss, can I read after Ahad?
Acknowledge sources.
Yes.
Always credit sources whenever you directly quote a phrase, sentence, or passage, or whenever you summarize or paraphrase someone else's original idea. The research paper model on page 79 to 82 follows the Modern Language Association MLA star for citing sources. Use parenthetical citations whenever you make reference to a source in your paper. Each citation should include the author and page number of your source. Give complete
Yes,
information.
if I write it inside the text, If I write it inside the text, I will quote. So I will put it a parenthetical citation. Wherever you make reference to a source, I mention what. If it's in the text, I do not mention everything. If it's in the text, I just mention the author and page number. Karl Marx, 89. That's it, author and page number only. But if I will give all, it will be after I finish the research. Okay, continue, give complete.
Give complete information about each source at the end of the paper in a works cited list. For specific rules of
So here I will write the source in the text. So I will, like here I'll say Karl Marx 89, and then after I finish my presentation I say Karl Marx 89 was and I mention the newspaper or the book's name, title, and then the when, and I give all the details after I finish. Continue.
For specific rules
For
about
specific
citations and bibliographical references, consult the MLA Handbook for Writers of Research Papers, 7th edition. Some instructors prefer that students use footnotes or endnotes rather than parenthetical citations. Follow your instructor's guidelines or those in the MLA.
Thank you, dear. The number 10,
Yes, miss. Number 10, do not plagiarize.
plagiarize.
Plagiarize. Plagiarize. Using someone else's words or ideas without giving credit constitutes what's the word?
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism, which is a serious offense. Plagiarism has prompted lawsuits, job firings, and expulsions from colleges and universities. Borrowing or buying a research paper written by someone else is also plag- because I'm not
Plagiarism.
knowing how to say it. Uh,
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism. Teachers can tell when the writing in a paper isn't your own.
Yes, so avoid plagiarism as we discussed previously. So, girls, today what are we going to do? Today, I want you to collect ideas of what is the topic you want to talk about. Till now, no one has told me what is the topic he is going to make a research. I will wait till Saturday passes, and then you'll be asked to tell me the idea, which idea you are writing, and you will hand me the project. Just I am waiting for the SAT test, although that not all the class takes SAT, but okay, I'll wait.
Teacher, can you repeat what do you want?
After the SAT, you in next period of writing, you will tell me what are you going to talk about. That you choose the topic. You should have told me today, but I will wait for
My
next
research
Wednesday
paper?
and you tell me. You tell me what is the topic you are going to write about. So it is first graph, so you start collecting and gathering information on your research.
Miss, in the about the research paper?
Yes, about the research paper. Okay, I'll stop recording. So